Good evening and welcome to the stream this evening. That takes longer and longer to switch. Right. No, that's a burr. I won't say that won't do what I want it to do. What have I got? Yes, I do. So I'm going to do some glass engraving, I think. Quite what I'm going to engrave, I don't actually know. We shall find out. Leave that home. So I want a small diamond burr. Actually, looks like one of those will maybe do, unless that's a carbide tip. What are these? No, they're cutters. I don't want a cutter, I want a diamond, basically a file. That's triangular, that one's square. That one's round, that's closer. Could do with just a simple ball shaped. That one will do, I think. 521. Unless there's a slightly bigger one in here. Yeah, we have. That'll do better. And I could do with those stones out as well. Carbide stones. So you'd think I'd be prepared, but quite often we just get quite close to stream time and they're all cutters. So whilst I can use a carbide cutter on glass and it will actually cut quite deep, I don't want to at the moment, which is as good a reason as any for not doing it. Yeah, that's a bit too small. So that's too much of a point. They're cutters. That's a cutter. These are all, by the way, dental drills. So these are just the sorts of things that your dentist would use. That one's too flat to use. That's one of those, so I can put that away. Okay, we'll leave these out for the moment. We may or may not use them. So let's start by changing the tip in this drill. Take out the carbide cutter and replace it with this diamond ball. Like that. Right. And just so I don't lose it, I'm just going to put that carbide cutter into there. Right, so we are almost ready to start. Still don't know quite what I'm going to do, although I think I'm going to put a palm tree on here. So this is just practice. It's a long time since I've done any of this at all. So I just thought I'd have a go. So we're going to wet this down. And I'm going to do this totally freehand, so there's going to be no no drawing on it, no backing paper, nothing. We're just going to go cold. So let's turn this up and just move the foot pedal. So I've got a variable speed drill here, anything from hardly moving, that's about half speed, and I've got it limited to about half speed at the moment. So let's take a look, and I hope that Twitch didn't mean what it's just said, which is that I'm offline. Shocker. I'm just looking at a reference picture. Yeah, just roughly. This is going to bother me. Let me just move this up here, which is the control unit, but I didn't think this layout out very much. I just sort of put everything somewhere. So go over there. Right, that's better. So let's start about here. This is a diamond tipped drill or burr. It's a ball shape with industrial diamonds embedded in it. I'm keeping the speed down. I don't want it particularly to overheat the drill, and also I don't really want it throwing glass dust all over the place. I'm just going to go for simple engraving, which is basically just black and white. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just switch out. If I can adjust that light to make what I'm doing a bit more visible. Oh, fantastically visible. You can see it there. Yeah. Okay, now then, I want to slow this down because I don't want this. Otherwise, this at maximum speed could damage the drill. There we go. don't normally like working with these this shape of wheel. I prefer an actual wheel because that way you can hold it sideways, and when you hold it sideways you get a better control of the angles that are being used, and also it doesn't tend to run away from you. To me like this, it actually helps to have something black either in the background or stuffed inside it so you can see what you're doing. But I don't happen to have anything handy at the moment, so that's what we're going with. So if I switch bits again, I'm kind of using the little tiny one as like a pencil, and then that one more like a broad brush. So if we've got a palm tree, we've probably got a beach, so let's join the beach line. Let's turn that up a bit. There we go. Actually, what I might do is, let's put in, so where would it be? Probably about there. Am I making, yes, I was making a mistake. We've got a horizon there. Let's put in a just for the fun of it, we'll put a sun right on the horizon there. Okay, let's grind that in with the larger bit and create a sort of a somewhat brighter and darker, same thing. This is another reversed image like scraper board. You put in the darker stuff looks whiter and the whiter stuff looks darker, so it gets a little bit confusing at times. So let's have a little bit of water just around on that. That helps keep the tip a little bit lubricated, cools it down and stops dust flying. working a little bit here just to go over the edge that I drew with the fine ball tip. It's a bit of a sharp edge, and for a sunset it's kind of a fuzzy edge to the sun. I'm also working a curve just to help me get the right edge. Doesn't actually make much difference in some ways because the grind should be almost grainless, but if it's not, it helps. Now I'm not doing it with this, but you can cut through the glass, and you can cut quite deeply with these tools. And there are some techniques of glass cutting and glass engraving which do make deep impression. This isn't going to be one of those. This is just surface engraving, but Okay, that needs a bit more work done on it because, well, yes, I'm looking at that, and that the sun isn't quite reflecting the light properly, but it's not bad for the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of a little bit of a line that I've got down there, for which I need, is that stone? No, it is. For which I need an eraser, and I'm just looking to see where it's gone, and dropping tools on the floor doesn't help. That's there. Thought at first this was my eraser, but this is actually a stone. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm looking at this and I'm not sure whether it's an eraser or it's abrasive, so excuse me a second while I just turn my back and just have a look, see if I can find my eraser. Nope. Okay, I can't find my eraser, which is a little bit annoying. I did find my other carbide tools though, which is good. But not finding my eraser was a little bit annoying. Let me just check this isn't, because I'm not altogether sure. Now then, the one thing about this is slow it right down. Anything big like this, there's quite a bit of force when you spin these up. And they will easily, oops, why did that pop out? Oh, yeah. I know why that popped out, and there's not a lot I can do about that, is there? No. That's irritating. Okay, I can't use that. That is a wheel, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. Right. Just flip that a second whilst I therefore look for an actual eraser, a hand eraser. You can use them. In actual fact, there we go. You really can use erasers on glass. Normally do this with a rotary high-speed eraser. I'm not sure, I've never tried it with a hand eraser before, but there's no reason why it shouldn't work. Probably slightly softer than that. So that one might work. There we go. Effectively what the eraser does is smooth the edges of the glass so they're reflecting light, and therefore they basically stop reflecting light and therefore appear to vanish. So you are almost erasing scratches. Quite a useful technique if you have a glass with a scratch on it, by the way, is you can just take a soft rubber, and sometimes it will go away just by rubbing on it. or at least it becomes less intrusive or obtrusive or visible, whatever the word I'm looking for is. And what I'll have to do is have a look for my wheel eraser, which goes in the drill, and then that way it's a lot easier to use than doing it by hand. Okay, that will do that. So let's put that. Actually, I'm going to change bits because he says hoping that these are the wider ones, otherwise I won't be able to do this. Take that one. I need the adapter. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing an adapter. This these drill bits go in an adapter, and the adapter goes in the end of the drill like that. And what I need is one that works for these medium-sized bits, and I've got one. I just don't know where. It should be with all my bits. Should and actually are two entirely different things. No, I'm going to have to have a look for that now then. Right, so I'm going to have to have a look for that adapter. It's let's have a look. No, that's too soft. That's a polishing stone. Okay, I'm going to have to go with a slightly more awkward one, which is this. It's quite a rough abrasive. I was wanting to use a finer abrasive, but I'm going to have a look for that after the stream, basically. Apart from the fact it's a relatively expensive thing that I don't want to lose. I don't know where it is. So turn this back up to about there. I've got to watch it because if you spin one of these things too fast, that happens. Just the pure momentum, bend that. I cannot bend that back by hand. Not that I want to try particularly, because it'll never be straight again, but that shaft is strong enough that I can't bend it by hand, and yet I spun it up in the drill a bit too fast and it went like that. Right. Oops, yeah. I turned it off for safety, which is good. looks all right. Right, let's see about some palm fronds. So I shall just switch back to the fine diamond burr. Turn the speed up on that. So yeah, there's got to be one. You never want to be heavy-handed with these. Let the tool do the job. If you get too heavy-handed, you just actually break the diamonds off the surface and the tool goes blunt. And given that these things are not exactly cheap, you don't want to be sort of blunting them too quickly. Yeah, where did I put my eraser? There it is. Yeah, this definitely doesn't work as well as it does with a powered eraser, but I don't have a powered eraser to hand. Just what I need to do here is just darken that down a little bit. I don't want it quite so bright. Car HD. Hi, good evening. Welcome to the studio. I'll have to go over those with another stone in a moment. So I'm just doing some practice glass engraving. It's a while since I've done any. So I'm working completely freehand with no pattern, no idea about what I'm going to end up doing, and just started by deciding I was going to do a palm tree, then it went to be a beach, and I thought it'd be nice to put a sunset in. No, I don't, and you may realise, Bukar, that the thing that disqualifies anybody from being a mod on most streams is asking for it. So, sorry, but you just disqualified yourself even if I did. They're not right. But okay, that's better. That would be another reason why you've just disqualified yourself. And quite frankly, I don't care what your opinion is. If you like that, then it doesn't matter. And have you just thought that you actually were watching it? Switch out this bit for the heavy duty carbide. And turn the speed down. Not that much. That's better. wanted the branch stalks to be quite thick and heavy, so that's why I've switched to this. Because this stone is a lot easier to do quite heavy deep cuts with. And I'm not going really deep on this, but it is I am sort of applying quite a bit of grinding to it. It literally says wear and tear on the smaller diamond bit as well, because you can actually wear diamonds out, believe it or not. Some of that wearing out is actually knocking the diamond chips out of the surface material more than anything, but they do seem to lose their sharpness after a while. You can apply shading with these tools, but it's such a long time since I've done this that I'm not going to practice doing that. I'm just literally going to do whatever turns out, to be honest. got a slight ridge that I can see that I'm just trying to get or do away with. You get quite a nice effect sometimes if you slow the drill right down like that. It sort of bounces slightly on the surface, and so you can get like a dotted line, which sometimes can work quite nicely, like here for water. Okay, we need a little bit more definition with the horizon there. Turn that up a bit. Purposely letting the drill skip so we get that sort of slightly misty pale look on the horizon there. I wish I had a black cloth, but let's see a little bit more on the wave here, just on the beach I think. I need more practice at palm trees, but I've got another 3 sides to this bottle. Yeah, I might have another go with them in a minute. That looks better. Okay, so we do something about these palm trees. Or these palm leaves rather than palm trees. It's a palm tree. That actually looks better, so we'll do a bit more of that. Okay, that's looking better. Now why is that? Oh, good. My output window froze for the moment then. Yeah, I could do with a black cloth for this, or some black card inside the glass. Might see if I've got any for next time. Never knew that was flexible. The things you learn. Now the process here is one of scratching the glass basically. Different depths of scratches, but basically I'm just scratching it. When you scratch glass, it basically gets rough, and that means it reflects light rather than it going straight through. So that's all glass engraving is really, is scratching glass. There is glass cutting, which actually cuts more deeply and usually polishes the glass as well afterwards. and then you get techniques which are sort of a mix between the two, either deep engraving or cutting and then engraving, which is the scratching process on top. And so you can get some quite sculptured pieces, and they're the sorts of things where if you did it with a face and you sculpture it that deeply, the eyes follow you because of the way in which it's been sculptured. That's deep cutting that does that. I quite like this because what it's doing, it's creating really wispy ends like you get with palm fronds that have been battered by the wind. They get really wispy and fibrous at the end. So whilst I just do this, this is a new thing for the stream. Is glass engraving. It's something I've done for a while now, but I've never done on stream before. It's sort of come back to doing it after having had a long rest. So this is just purely practice. But you can see examples of all the other things that are done on stream on the window on the left hand side, bottom left hand side of the screen there. Most of what you'll see there is jewellery, just because they can be done more rapidly than say this. So what you get is, as I try and do crafts for roughly the same period of time each, like a couple of weeks at a time, because things like carving take a couple of weeks to do. Then we get through more jewellery, so there's more items there. And incidentally, the jewellery items are available to buy if anybody's interested. There is an Etsy shop listed there, zeragonart.etsy.com, where all of those things that you can see, which were done on stream, can be purchased if you're interested. Some of the other art forms that are there, the carving, fairly obviously, is called relief carving. And we've done a couple of pieces or so now on stream. You'll see the rose pop up at some point, which has been painted afterwards, and you will I think you'll see a carving of I think the dragon is on there, Ruth the dragon. Some other things are on there. Scraper board, which is a black and white thing that you'll see come up from time to time. That's porcelain clay on a backing board, which is then covered in black Indian ink, and then when you scrape the ink away you reveal the white, which is then creates a black and white image. And with K you can create something like a grayscale. So as you can see, some of the images that show up there tend to look a little bit sort of black and white photograph style. The woolly looking things, which are of two trains, is a craft called Punchcraft, and it's really a miniature rug making technique. It's made in the same way that rugs are made, by punching a needle through a backing cloth and creating a loop of material on the front surface. but it can be done using different threads to create pictures and images like the ones you'll see in the bottom left. The brown looking images that pop up, the sepia or the old time photograph looking images, are done using a technique called pyrography, also known as wood burning, although you don't actually burn any wood. But they've also been done on stream. Right, I'm just going to try and see if I can. Now, if I got the eraser, powder eraser, what I'd do is run it down this right hand side here, and what that would do is take away some of the white mark, so the white edge basically, and it would look like it would look darker and therefore would look like it's in shadow. I'm just trying to do the same thing with this pencil. I'm not getting very far actually with that. I wonder if I can try one of my other erasers. Do I have... Yeah, I was looking for a particular eraser which may be on my desk. Actually, let me put that carbide bit away before I lose it, since I can't use it tonight, as I'm missing the adapter that I need. I'm not going to go searching my desk. No, that's not particularly effective. Never mind. Let's actually see if we can cheat. I just wanted to try and get a white or lighter highlight on this left hand side here. Not being particularly very effective, isn't that? No. Okay. Actually, I'm getting an effect there. Okay, let's see what we can do. That's working, okay. Now the reason that's working is because the grooves that I scratched were in this direction, I'm now creating ones in this direction, so you're seeing them, you're seeing a slight contrast between the two. Now you might not see it, but I can see it here. No, you can't actually see it too well on camera. But there is enough so that this edge here is actually lighter than this edge here, which sort of makes it look slightly rounded. That sun looks it's got an area there which is a bit smoother than I like. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, looks okay. Now that's better. We've now lost that slightly lighter patch on that sun, which is fantastic. I'm just debating whether I want to put anything just down here. I kind of don't want to do much more on that at all, actually. Kinda like it as it is. Having a tool that you can slow down like that comes in really useful for doing certain things. And effectively all I'm doing there is just applying a light scratching, just fogs it slightly. Now then, do we have roots on palm trees? Looking at some reference pictures. Sort of mound often. Not too often on beaches. Okay, they are sometimes a little bit thicker. Let's just actually, I'm thinking that's actually a little bit thin, so I'm going to thicken it off a little bit. Gaston, good evening. I was thinking actually of putting a table and chairs with a small tiny cup on, but I don't think I'll bother on this side. I might do one a table and chairs, maybe with a cup on the other side, or one of the other sides. But do you mean a cup of coffee here next to me? I would do, apart from I'm engraving glass, so I don't particularly want the dust getting over into the coffee. front, just up there, looks a little bit narrow. That's better. Funnily enough, that looks thinner on the camera than it does here. Sort of feels like there should be something down here at the bottom, but I'm not sure what. Put my tool down and give this a bit of a polish. I got something dark I can just put underneath. Yeah, that might do. Is that dark enough? Yeah, it is. Now I'm in two minds whether that's the sun at sunset or the moon at moonrise. Interesting how the darkness just changes it slightly. Thank you very much, Gastang. I've not done any glass engraving now for about it must be over a year. So I just, because I got the drill out to do some cleaning up of beads, and it was sat there. I feel like doing some glass engraving, and I just happened to empty this jar today, so I thought I'll put the two together. So this was just done freehand. I just started with the, it feels like let's do a palm tree. So I put the palm tree in, and palm trees are on beaches, so I put a beach in, and then I thought, well, I need the sun somewhere, let's make it sunset, and then everything just came from there. All totally freehand. I've not pre-drawn anything or used any sort of what you can sometimes do with glass engraving is you'll draw it down on paper first, then stick it behind the glass, or occasionally you'll draw on the glass itself with something like a Chinagraph pencil, and then you can trace over the top of it, which makes it life easier. But this was done completely freehand. Now I don't think I'll touch it. I think I'll leave it as it is. I can always come back and do some more. I'll have to think of something to do on the other side. I've got 4 sides. I might write coffee on there, on the other side. Just something for no other reason than it was a coffee jar. And then I'll have to think of something to put on each side. Don't know. Could be a large cup of coffee, perhaps, in a saucer. We'll get a very big one on there. Small table, some legs. Yeah, I wouldn't even get a chair on there, but a table, maybe. Something on it. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do, though, is leave the next side until tomorrow, rather than doing it now, or starting it now. I think we'll leave that one until tomorrow. I've forgotten how quick engraving can be sometimes. You can take hours. literally hours doing engraving, depending on because you can start to do 3D deep engraving, and if I can find my eraser, you can sort of do shading as well, a lot easier than I've done on here, and you can get quite intricate and spend many hours doing it, or you can work just pure black and white as I've virtually done here, and then you can get some very nice images very quickly. The more I look at that, the more I like it. Water is one of the hardest things for me to do. I always have problems with water, and I'm really pleased with what I've done there, because when I look at that on screen as you're seeing it, that looks really realistic to me. So I'm it doesn't look quite as good in person, but on screen it's one of these things when I'm going to step back after I finish the stream and take a look at this from a distance, and I'll bet it looks more realistic from a distance as well, which is what the camera does. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I call this side of this jar done, at least for now anyway. And unfortunately that means therefore we'll finish the stream for tonight, and we'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow being Monday, yeah, I think we'll have a go at streaming tomorrow. I will try. Can't promise anything, so if you want to come back, follow me on Twitch and allow notifications, or follow me on Twitter at Zaraganart, and you'll get a tweet when I go live, or if I don't go live, I do try and tweet out that I'm not going to save you looking. But otherwise, I will also point out the shop down there, zaraganart.etsy.com, and the coupon that's available just down there. I'm not going to try and run my finger along it. For the shop as well. That's mainly, well, it has just got jewellery in it at the moment. Whether I'll put any of this in it, I'm not sure. We shall see. Get a bit more practice and I might do. Though I tend to do images on flat photo frame type glass rather than sides of jars, but it's a nice jar. I love the shape of these jars. So if you want to try and catch me tomorrow night though, if I am on, I'll be on from around 8 PM UK time, 2000 hours UTC or GMT. At the moment they're both the same. In fact, at the moment all three are the same, until I don't know when we switch to British Summer Time. Won't be very long, and then they'll change, but not for the moment. So thank you everybody for watching. Have a great night from the White Rose of West Yorkshire in the UK. I'll say bye for now.